Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and today I'm going to show you how to applique fake fur to regular fabric. I've shown you how to cut out the fake fur, I've shown you how to applique regular fabric onto the fake fur. Now we're going to applique the fake fur onto regular fabric. This is my pattern piece. It's for a quilt block, and I'm going to cut this monster shape out of fake fur and applique it down to the block. So I've already cut the fabric out because I did that in a different video, and I'll link back to that in the pop-up on this one. So they're not attached right now. This is the fabric block, and this is my faux fur piece. And I just lay it on top of the block right where I want it, and then I'm going to pin it in place. I like to start pinning at the top. Anytime I pin, I don't really like to pin starting at one side and working my way around because you can get a little bit of creep that way. So I like to start kind of in the middle and then do kind of halfway points and just keep dividing it in half. I find that I don't get any errors that I have in pinning, any bowing and things that happen when I'm pinning, then get distributed and not accumulated, so that at the end I find that I'm off by some measurable distance. So now I'm just going to kind of divide each of these spaces in half. It doesn't take a ton of pins to hold this in place. It would if we were pinning the furry side, because that's going to tend to shift. But we're pinning a smooth fabric to a smooth fabric because the underside of this fur is smooth. So it's pinned into place. Now we're going to go over to the machine and I'm going to show you how to sew it down. Okay. We're going to sew this down. We're just going to use a regular straight stitch all the way around the edge. The trick is that you're going to need, pull this pin right out, you're going to need to pull this fur away from the edge. Get it underneath the presser foot, just under the edge of the presser foot there. I'm just using a regular straight stitch. You don't want to sew too close to the edge. I'm giving it probably about 1/8 of an inch here. And just as you go, just make sure you're smoothing that away. Basically, anytime I stop to take a pin out, I also smooth the fur away. And sometimes it'll be kind of under the presser foot, and you can use a pin to smooth it. Or if you need to, you can lower the needle and raise that presser foot and get your fingers under there if you have a clump that gets past you. We're just going to work all the way around. To smooth some here. Just get it all pointing to the inside there. Almost at the end. Just make sure I get all the fur right up to the very end, pointing in. And back stitch. And we're going to take it out and look at it. I'm going to give it a quick shake, and you can see that you can't even see that edge because the fur tends to go past it. Now, there's one other step that you can do, and it really kind of depends on your fabric. So this is something that you're going to need to decide as you go along. But you can go back. This one has kind of a rough feeling edge, so I want to enclose that. This is going to be a quilt, and I don't want anything rough feeling at all on it. So I'm going to go back and enclose this edge in a zigzag stitch. So I'm going to just start right back again at the beginning. Now it's much easier because I don't have pins, and the fur is already tending to be pointed that direction because it's stitched down that way. But I'm going to switch to a zigzag stitch. Not a super tight one. I'm just adjusting the length and the width of the stitch in my machine. Go back in, and I want to make my needle be going down on the outside, so I just switched it, just rolled it forward a little bit. Now I want that needle to come down on the outside edge. See, it's coming down right on the outside edge of the fur. That's what I want. So it's going to zigzag into the fur. One thing I notice when I zigzag on fake fur, my thread tends to break a lot. So just go slowly. It happens more on some kinds of fur than others. So just be aware of that and go slowly. It happens more when I go super fast. And this is a slow process, so I am not going to show you the whole thing, but that's probably going to be enough for you to see. So I'm going to back stitch a little bit and pull it out so you can see. And see, that gives you a much cleaner edge, and now the slight roughness that you'll feel on the edge of some fake furs will be completely stitched down, so you won't have anything there to worry about. I'm going to show you another block where I've done this all the way around, just so you can see what it will look like when it's finished. Okay, so this is a finished block. It's the same block pattern, it's just completely finished. I've also done the eyes applique on there. And you can see it's got a nice clean edge all around it. What I want to do is just kind of fold back some of the fur so that you can see. See, this one has been zigzagged all around the edge. And it's kind of messy looking, but again, the fur goes back and covers it up. So in real life, you won't ever see that. I just wanted to give you a chance to peek in close at the seams. So that's it. It's actually really easy to applique fake fur onto regular fabric. You just want to keep all that fur out of your way. And so just a straight line stitching all around the edge. And then if you need it, and again, it depends very much on the fur that you're using. Some of them have really stiff background fabrics. Some of them have really, really smooth background fabrics, and you don't feel like you need to do this. But if you need it, you can also go back and zigzag over that raw edge. It'll make it extra secure, and it'll also smooth over those rough edges. As long as your fur is washer and dryer safe, your finished quilt then can go into the washer and dryer if this is the way that you've attached it. I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World. I'll see you next time.